Welcome to another edition of Research Survivor, where today's contestants are Eamon Khan and Tamia Risia. Let's see what they have in store for us. The title of their study is Examining the Effects of the COVID-19 Outbreak on Disparities in Healthcare Utilization and Health Outcomes among Socioeconomically Vulnerable Populations. Interesting study. But the title of the study doesn't really tell me anything new. And before I even continue, I already gave Eamon a focus on Bangladesh and his community, and he's doing something else. Okay, let me calm down. I'm going to assume that this research proposal is pre-Andrew, is before we had our conversation. But these titles are very powerful, and this title needs to be more focused. You have to tell them exactly what you're doing. And if you go back and read the notices from the NIH, they're targeting very specific vulnerable populations. And so I'm looking for target. I'm looking for you to get very, very focused. So let's go ahead and read their purpose of study and significance of the study. So, despite the socioeconomic disparities between a Wall Street banker in New York City and a McDonald's employee in rural Georgia and a Somalian in a refugee camp, all of them should have equal access to health care. Yeah, okay, that's obvious. And once again, we need to make this much tighter. This is a lot of reading. And the purpose of this study, the significance of this study, give me 2-3 sentences, and it's a wrap. This isn't a novel. Who told you to write a novel? Okay, it's all good. I mean, it's good stuff. You're a great writer, and you know what? You could help me write a novel, but no, this has to be tight because we'll be giving this to physicians, to healthcare workers, to scientists, and folks are busy. They want you to get to the point very quickly. But let's continue. There are a number of variables causing this disparity, but the most consistent and self perpetuating of these is poverty. In the United States, not only does poverty prevent access to healthcare, it heightens the need for it. Yeah, I mean, all this stuff, remember, we're talking to people who know, yeah, you have to just realize that everything is saying everyone knows already, and their brain is saying, tell me something new. People with adequate health insurance coverage cannot receive treatment in a timely manner, which lead to further difficulties. I know that. Additionally, I'll put a period there. Additionally, poor nutrition and higher rates of violence within communities increases their medical needs. Yeah, I know. You know what? Okay, I get it. We're all used to writing essays in college, but this ain't school, son. We're going to get more focused because a lot of words, but not telling me anything new. These factors are also prevalent internationally. Okay. And in impoverished nations, vulnerable communities lacking access to food, clean water, and sanitation have almost no access to healthcare. All right. Previous studies have looked into the psychological effects of the COVID-19 outbreak and its associated quarantining, the pervasiveness of disparities in health and mental health care among medically and socially vulnerable populations, the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic on the economy, and the effects of socioeconomic status on the healthcare disparity. Wow, man, this is a lot, man. This is deep. This is a lot. Broke it up. You must broke it up. Yeah, this is a lot, man. However, this will be the first study. See, you saying like this is the first time I'm hearing something new. You tell me this is the first study. This better be the first study. Yo, if this not a first study, fire upon you. All right, so is this the first study to research the effects of the COVID-19 outbreak on disparities in medically accessibility and health outcomes among socioeconomic vulnerable populations? If you just say this is the first study, okay, let me calm down. This study was prompted by a sense that the disparities in healthcare accessibility among socioeconomic less privileged groups are substantially underreported and unacknowledged, thus inhumanely devaluing the lives of the underprivileged. We all know this study will serve two ends. Okay, what are the two ends? You first told me this is the first one and the other studies, but okay, the two ends are first, identify indisputable, noteworthy presence of healthcare disparities in socioeconomically vulnerable groups, yet people know, okay. And secondly, to examine the potential effects of a global pandemic on disparaging healthcare use and health outcomes among the socioeconomically disadvantaged. I mean, everyone's doing that. If you only focus on your block, focus on your block. Focus on grandma. Save grandma. We're all over the place. And the other grandmas, you save one grandma, you save a million grandmas. Save grandma. Okay. So this study hypothesizes that the outbreak of COVID-19 will exacerbate and prolong the issue of health equity for socioeconomically vulnerable populations by socioeconomically devastating a larger subset of the general population. You using socioeconomically twice in the sentence. All right. Rather than alleviating the issue by prompting the healthcare industry to be more accommodating at a time of I can't even talk anymore. At a time of irrefutable need for all. Man, I need some water. I can't pronounce my words anymore. This is so much. Oh my gosh. My bad. This needs to be so tight. Make it tight. Make this thing focused. Focus on grandma. Focus on your block. Tell me something new. This is not an essay. So the main research question. Okay, still, this is the main research question. How has the outbreak of COVID-19 affected disparities in healthcare use and health outcomes among socioeconomically vulnerable populations? Oh boy, I need to take a break. I need to drink some more water because man, this is tiring. Your primary target population. In order to conduct this study, okay, let me stop reading here. You can read this, but yeah, this is really an essay. We're talking about a lot of stuff, but I don't hear you. I really don't hear you. I don't know what the focus is. I'm using lots of words, but let's practice using less words and more focus. So let's take a look at the links you have here. Okay, so this looks at the psychological responses. Okay, in China, how is that connected? Okay, are we doing psychological response? I'm fine with that. This is about psychiatry. Okay, mental health in the context of health disparities. Okay, if you're focused on this, but how is this? I don't. This is all good stuff, but going back to your title of the study, you don't mention mental health. This is why this has to be more focused. Focus, focus, focus. Let's see the next study here. Okay, the economic implications of this pandemic. Okay, so taking a look at sectors. I mean, I can see if you are focusing on a sector as well, and this was supporting you. Finance industry, okay. Healthcare, okay. So maybe if you're pulling a sector from here, you know what? That's probably what I can help everyone do. This is a great article because it lays out sectors. So I need people to give me a sector. It has to be a lot more focused because ultimately this research will help that sector. All right. Okay. Let's go to the next one. COVID-19 in Bangladesh. Uh-oh. Now I'm finally seeing some money. How about COVID-19 and the immigrant Bangladesh population? Now I'm seeing something. And now we can compare. So this I guess is about what's happening in Bangladesh. But okay, so we can maybe potentially compare the response in Bangladesh and I don't know, but maybe we can look at the culture and see how does culture impact COVID-19. Now that's interesting. And there's something happening with the Bangladesh community here that's distinctive from other cultures. Now we discovered something. So this article, they're giving some good ideas. Um, Inadequacy of COVID-19 testing facilities. Okay. Um, Mitigation measures. All right. I mean, all this is good stuff. I like the fact that they're targeted. Coping with mental stress. All right. Need more funds. Okay, but so I'm looking. So here's where like all these researchers could use your help to create infographics to simplify what they're saying. So they're saying media personalities can help. Okay, hospitals have been a source. No, is there anything that they're saying in here that could become a policy statement that you can build off of? Because we're not looking to simply write papers. We're going to take action. We're activists. So, what are the suggestions? So, yeah, so, look at this for suggestions and maybe put together an infographic on these suggestions. But ultimately, you want to write a paper that will impact someone. That's really important, is to write something. Now, expatriates, okay, I was trying to see a connection to the U.S. immigrant population, but um, that's that's your challenge. So, thank you so much. Let me see your survey, your key questions. Like key questions don't really have to be income. That's going to be on most questions. Um, since the outbreak of COVID-19, once again, make sure you use questions that are already validated. Last time you got a health checkup, make sure people are comfortable with that term. If it's health checkup, you've been to the doctor for a health checkup. This is why you want to use survey questions that are already validated. To what extent do you believe that the outbreak affects your community? Be careful of open-ended questions. You can have some, but be careful of that. Yes. So I mean, I'm not really seeing a key question. I'm not really seeing a key question. I'm not really seeing sufficient focus. So the verdict is no soup for you. That's the verdict. But the real verdict is a great start. The real verdict is you're on your way. The real verdict is you have something here, and we just need to focus it. All right. So come again to the next edition of Research Survivor. I'll see you next time.